Grand Rising, February 24th, 2022, Wednesday, 26 degrees up at the garden. Got some things to talk to you about today. Go over a quick list. Stick around if it seems interesting. We got temperature fluctuations. What we've seen in the last week. Plants for the garden through midwinter to late winter to early spring. What I have done over the week with first full snow melt. Tomatoes and peppers as soon as possible, ? My seed started practices, my views on early starts versus direct sow, and what is no-till, my understanding of no-till and my practices, and what tools will be in use for this season. So temperature fluctuations. A week ago today, it was 50 degrees. It had dipped back down into the colder temperatures. I got my little handy dandy book right here. So 50 degrees, I'll just do the highs. 50 degrees last Thursday, Friday 20, Saturday 17, Sunday 18, Monday 52, Tuesday 52, Wednesday 54, then last night it had went back down to 34. Now today I woke up, it was 19. It snowed last week, then it all melted, then snowed again. Now it all melted again. That's why I'm taking the video today, because then they're saying it's supposed to snow again. So this will all be covered in snow. So I'm getting the time in to do these things while I have them. While I have the time. What is time? That's another question for another time. Plants for the garden. So essentially my plans for this time of the season are just keeping an eye on the remaining soil cover that I had put down in the fall, all of the grass. There were some spots that I was able to see the past few days that were either the garlic was coming up or their grass was kind of have been eaten by the worms, so it's disappearing. Was able to chop some grass with my hedge snippers from the little field next door, over yonder. So just keeping an eye on the beds, the soil, making sure everything is covered. That is really my main duty for this time. This still dormancy period of the year. Went over what's changed, constant fluctuations, snow, warm, snow, cold. That'll be continuance. Tomatoes and peppers. It only takes 8 weeks for a tomato plant to start flowering. Therefore, you're best off only starting it 6 weeks before your last frost date. If you start them too early, you're going to be sitting around with your hands crossed, your fingers crossed, not knowing what to do with them, because the weather might not be permitting enough to put them out. And then if you have these fully matured tomato plants, well, you're kind of stuck with them in the house until unless you can get them into a tiny greenhouse, cold frame, with some row cover on top of them. You got to be prepared for these kind of things. And this is things that I am learning in my own experience. I got real eager, started a tomato plant in January. It's pretty mature right now. It's coming along nice. But unless I have the proper coverage for it, I won't be able to put it out until after the last frost date, which is expected to be estimated May 17th. But it could go past that for sure. Talking about the first week until June, really, till things start steadily warming up. And that goes for peppers too. But you do need to start these things inside early if you want to see a steady crop. but I did successfully last year direct sow a tomato plant. So it is possible. Don't let anybody tell you anything's impossible until you try it. What is no-till? So my idea of no-till is you're essentially you never tilled the soil. Maybe you did it once to establish the beds, which is what I have done here. Everything, my little plot right here, used to look just like grass. I ripped up the soil, made the beds. I didn't use like a rototiller or anything. I don't know if this makes it any better, but I literally ripped up the grass like with a shovel and a hoe and like a rake. I did it one time. Now these beds are permanent. They're permanently here. They're never going to be moved again. Constantly putting organic matter onto them, building the fertility. So, with all that being said, you do have to like dig the soil to like harvest a potato if you put it in the soil. Or I guess for a no-till potato, what I have seen is you can put the potato like literally here's a pile of grass. There's no dirt underneath this. So in the springtime, rip this grass apart, put a potato in there, and then the potatoes will grow like in this pile of grass. When the potatoes are ready, they die back. Remove the grass, harvest the potatoes. And then that way you don't have to dig into the ground. The soil wasn't disturbed in any way. That is what I had did with these two little small beds. This was a square all the way down. Harvested the potatoes last year. So that was the only spot that was tilled last year. So I'm thinking besides the garlic that is right here, I'm just gonna leave that into a cover crop and the asparagus that's gonna come up in the spring. I'm gonna leave that into a cover crop for the remainder of the season, for the entirety of the season, because that did undergo a little bit of tillage and disturbance after the fact that I had already established the bed. So yeah, here we are going over all that stuff. Looking really forward to this upcoming season. Boom, boom, boom. It's just gonna be filled with food. This is gonna be a strawberry patch bed. I just ordered 50 strawberry sets. The variety is called Seascape. And I think that'll be nice to watch fill out with some full strawberries. All right, we got plenty of time to talk about this. The last thing I just wanted to go over real quick is what I had done before this video. So this could be scaled up. You wouldn't probably want to scale it down any more than this, but you could scale it down one more size. So these are 6 foot, I don't even know what they are. They're not PVC pipe. They're like this other plastic kind of stuff. I know, the plastic, not organic, bop, 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 okay? Hey, if that's the one thing that I used, it's gonna have to be what it is. But so, this is a little cold frame. I wouldn't call it a greenhouse because it definitely doesn't have like the greenhouse material on it. But it's called Agribon. And this is used for row cover. You put it on tops of really any plants, lettuce, peppers, tomatoes, to protect from the colder weather. So this serves good up to about 19 degrees. So I didn't even plant it in the ground because the ground's frozen. So I just kind of draped it down enough, weighted it over with wood chips on all 4 sides. And then got this log technology, or a stick, small tree technology. You know, so we just take this back right here, open it up, and then to close it off nicely, I got one more bucket of wood chips that I'm gonna seal it up with. Open it up. Oh, what's going on inside? How we doing? Bam. So we got some nice wood chips. This was grass underneath. And then this was that frozen bag of compost that I was talking about. Maybe I talked about it. I can't remember if I... All right, anyways, this was a frozen bag of compost that I had found on this property. And I was able to use it on some of the garlic where it had came up. But now it had refrozen, so there was a pile right there. I spread it out. Nice, this is gonna de-thaw in here. It's supposed to snow, but there's gonna be another spike up. So whenever this warms up, it's definitely way warmer in here. It's feeling nice. This is where I intend to put some real cold hardy starts. Spinach, beets, carrots, anything that's gonna do real good in the cold with some coverage over them. So stay tuned, see how this, stay tuned to see how this works out. And yeah, for the weeks to come. So this is a nice Jay's Grass-Fed Garden weekly update coming to you. Much love, wholeness, sun shining. It's amazing. Talk soon. Peace.